Communist China trying to crush anti-lockdown protesters and getting a little help from Apple. The big tech giant blocked China's users from accessing its critical AirDrop feature earlier this month. It would have made it easier for protesters to share important info and bypass Beijing's online censorship. Chinese police have reportedly been stopping people and checking their phones for foreign apps. And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is ripping Apple for colluding with China.
You have people in China that are really engaged in a noble effort to protest, which is basically Leninist rule. So what is Apple doing with that? They are limiting the AirDrop function of the protesters. So they are serving basically as a vassal to the Chinese Communist Party.
But Apple sucking up to China isn't new. CEO Tim Cook said this back in 2017.
China's done an unbelievable job of lifting people out of poverty. They've done an incredible job, I mean, far beyond what any country has done. We were talking about mid-90s to today. The biggest change is the number of people that have been pulled out of poverty, by far, and we should all applaud that.
So, Dana, you know, you listen to that and you kind of understand what he's trying to do. He believes that if you do business with a place like China, you'll be influencing them and shaping their culture. What does he have to show for this? How has Apple influenced China or helped China become, you know, westernized or just better at, you know, with their people?
Yeah, report at 11 when we'll talk to the Uyghurs and see how that's gone.
Yeah.
Like, not very good. About a fifth of the iPhones purchased in the world are purchased in China, in addition to not only being made there. This is basically China is waging digital warfare against its own citizens using technology developed in America.
Yeah.
And that it will continue. The other thing is it's also happening on Twitter. These Chinese bots were flooding all of these sites with porn, basically, to try to
I didn't notice.
I read about it.
Yes.
In order to try to get people away from it. The other thing that the Chinese are doing is, let's just say you are walking to work or you're walking to the grocery store. You can get stopped at any time. The government has full access to your phone. They said, where were you last night? And you have to tell the truth because they know, because it's already in there. And also, you are controlled by a yellow, green, or red signal on your phone. It comes up. And the government controls that. Green means that you don't have COVID, you can go anywhere you want. Yellow means, well, you got to have some restrictions. Red means you can't go anywhere. And you could just be walking down the street and all of a sudden it turns red and you have no idea why. Well, why? Because you were at the protest last night and they know that.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. So, Jessica, you're a communist. Do you think that Apple, this is just a coincidence that they turned this off? That they claim that they're going to do this worldwide anyway, or do you think this was like
it's an interesting starting point,
right?
I guess if this is to become an international trend, no, I think it's business, and we should be objective about how valuable China is as a trade partner for us. So they're the third largest market for our exports. We're the largest market for their imports. Unless people are willing to actually, you know, put up or shut up about it and switch using Vietnam or Thailand, and we get Nike out of there and you get Apple out of there, nothing is going to change from this. But what's interesting about what's going on in China is it is now such a departure from what's going on in the region. I had dinner on Monday night with a couple who live in Singapore.
Must be nice.
Sure, we had pizza.
Did they like the pizza?
It was delicious. We went to Arturo's.
Oh, wow.
So good, right?
Delicious.
Delish.
Did you get the margarita?
Don't distract me. And they had been in complete lockdown, right? I mean, Singapore is basically a police state at this point, right? When they had traveled, they had 21 days of quarantine, stuck in a hotel where they had barricaded the doors. And I said, well, what's it like now? And they said, it's just like being here. Everyone who wants to wear a mask, because a lot of people in Asia just like to wear a mask generally, is doing it, but none of it is restricted. It's not because of COVID. You go in and out as you please. They don't ask anything at the airports, et cetera. And if Singapore is at that place and you look at the dystopia that's going on in China, you know that this is bigger than just something that can go away in a couple of days after, you know, we have a more strongly worded statement, which was what Tom Cotton was suggesting. I don't think anything anyone can say at this point will stop whatever Xi Jinping has planned there.
Speaking of strongly worded statements, Judge, DeSantis provided quite a contrast to the current White House, don't you think?
Yeah, and I thought it was really spot on. The truth is that DeSantis is recognizing that what's going on in the United States is that the White House is promising to monitor and closely look at Twitter because of something Elon Musk may do that they don't have any idea of, whether or not there's a crime being committed, but they're on it. And yet at the same time, we've got an administration that can't even, in anything other than a very timid reaction, support the people who are in China, who are protesting this lockdown and the violation of human rights that Dana was talking about. They call you in and they know that they're going to arrest you if you lie about where you were, because they already know where you were. And the truth is that we've got an administration that loves China. Joe Biden said a rising China in 2011 was a good idea. 2013, Biden said China was a great nation. 2015, he said it was a significant asset. And in 2019, China, the folks are not bad. And that's great, okay, because Joe Biden and Hunter Biden did a lot of business, or Hunter Biden did anyway. And so while Elon Musk is being, they're going to terrorize him for the First Amendment, we can't even put out a statement that even Trudeau in Canada came out and said, we're going to ensure that China knows full well we stand for human rights. And there is such a dichotomy between how we're looking at the First Amendment and then how we're supporting Tim Cook in basically taking down the ability of the Chinese people to be able to communicate. And there's one more thing about Elon Musk. They're going after Elon Musk. He provided the Starlink in Ukraine. I mean, this is a guy who's done a lot of good for humans, and I'm not so sure that the Chinese have.
All right, Jesse, China is definitely not worried about appearing evil, right? I mean, they remind me a lot of you. These armies in these hazmat suits, and they're behind plexiglass shields. There's nothing on Netflix that comes close to how creepy this looks.
It's a true horror story.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what it's like to be Chinese and live under that type of condition. That was an excellent point. Think about this. Twitter is bad, and Apple's good. Apple has slaves building these phones. Apple's colluding with dictators, but Musk is the bad guy?
Yeah.
Come on. They're welding doors shut so people burn alive.
Yep.
And then Dana brought up the other day, they're blacking out the World Cup because no one's wearing masks, and they don't want the country to see that the world has moved on.
So
my China hand tells me something very interesting. Yes, I have a China hand. You know what I mean. And he says, we're seeing the end of China.
I don't know what you mean.
It's a phrase in politics. I'll teach you after class. And you can either have one or two things. China disintegrates as a country right now because you're seeing protests in almost every major city, tens of thousands of people, or you see just a vicious crackdown. Yeah. One or the other is going to happen. And many companies have pulled out. A couple dead enders like Apple are still there, but they might have to have an evacuation plan because if you're not out now, it might be too late. Think about this, though. There's no natural immunity in China. And their vaccines don't work, and their healthcare system's terrible. So this is a super spreader event. When you have masses of people congregating to protest, it's only going to get worse from here. And it's moved beyond protesting over COVID. It's now about the economy, freedom. So Xi, or however you say it, is in big trouble. He's lost face.
Can I just add something? Elon Musk, everyone's favorite crusader, produces vehicles in China. So the Shanghai Gigafactory has the capacity to produce 1.1 million electric vehicles per year because it was just upgraded because Elon Musk gets that it's valuable to do these things in China. And it is now Tesla's most productive manufacturing hub.
But is that
but
done
he's
by
not
slaves?
hurting the Chinese people.
Is
But
that
you
in a
say
slave
too,
camp?
They're getting jobs from this.
Do you think that those people are earning $200K a year and have great?
It's better than being locked down and
Are
burnt
you all trading
alive
in your
because
phones?
they're
Slaves.
convinced that
Slaves.
Slaves build
Turn
this.
it in, Jesse. Start
Slaves-
using a
slaves
Galaxy.
build this.
Come on.
And
What?
they don't build
Oh,
the
I'm sorry.
Tesla product.
What?
Well, that was an interesting turn to this segment. Next time Jessica says, I have one more thing, I'm just going to ignore her.
I mean, that's every day. So.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.